Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith, and welcome to my review of the iPhone 7 Plus. I will apologize in advance. I do not have the iPhone 7, so I won't be able to review it, but I do have a couple of iPhone 7 Pluses in front of me. Allow me to explain. I pre-ordered and picked up on opening day the iPhone 7 Plus in gold. Fantastic device. But unfortunately, I went back to the Apple Store later on that day when I had more time and I wasn't as rushed, and I played around with this model, the black model. It is so sexy, and I knew I had to have it. So the gold will be going back, but the black is staying. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk about these phones, because regardless of which color you get, this is a fantastic piece of machinery. I will say, though, I'm not sure if you saw my unboxing video, but one of the things I said was I wasn't sold on the jet black. Of course, they introduced this new color and everyone's excited. Jet black, ooh, it sounds so sleek. But then when you pick it up, what you realize is this is fingerprint heaven. You are going to be having nothing but fingerprints and potential scratches on this device. Keep in mind, this is the first iPhone that's come with a disclaimer that because of the glossy finish, it could be more susceptible to scratches. So it's interesting because over the course of the weekend, the jet black models tended to be more in stock, whereas the black models seem to be the ones that were selling out. And I gotta tell you, go into a store and touch this. It's so nice. It's so sexy. Now, at the end of the day, I'm the type of person who tends to keep all of my phones in cases. So when you look at this year's model and when you put it up against last year's model, it's pretty much the same thing. But again, I find the finish on the black to be so incredibly appealing. Now, Apple's funny. They came out with a slogan basically saying this is the best iPhone that we've ever made. Well, I'd hope so. I would definitely expect this year's model to be better than last year's model and not the opposite. I don't think they're going to come out with a slogan that says, hey, get this year's iPhone. Not as good as last year's, but still pretty good. Anyways, all kidding aside, let's talk about what's new in the zoo. Let's talk about the new features of the iPhone 7 Plus. So the first thing, the thing that everybody's talking about is, when you look here, no more headphone jack. So the headphone jack is gone, and what Apple wants you to do is to go out and buy these AirPods that basically hang from your ear. Now, the reviews that have come in for them seem to be very positive. I've seen them, but I haven't tried them, so I can't say. My concern, which I think would be the concern of a lot of people, is, well, what if you lose one? Because that could very well happen. Well, if you lose one, now you have to go out and get another pair, because I don't think they're going to be selling them individually. And here in Canada, it's over $200. So it could be the greatest thing ever. I don't know. But quite frankly, if I'm going to be spending over $200, I'd much rather just go out and get Bluetooth headphones. Fortunately, I already have a set of Bluetooth headphones, so I'm just going to be using those. Because the concern is you can't really listen to music and charge your device at the same time. So that's a bit of a concern. So from the headphone jack perspective, yes, it does come with headphones that you can plug in to the lightning port and listen to music, but again, you're not able to charge it at the same time like you were before. A couple of other new features. This new phone features an A10 processor. Now, the A10 processing chip might not mean a lot to most people, so let me just say this. The phone is faster than it was before. It processes things, it responds quicker than it did before. Noticeably quicker. In some apps, yes. In some apps, no. But you do see a difference, especially when you're looking at going from the 6 to the 7. A slight difference from the 6S to the 7, but a pretty big difference going from the 6 to the 7. Now, the next feature that I want to talk about is the new battery, or some might say battery. The new battery is very powerful. What I can tell you is that I was at a wedding yesterday, and I was out of the house by probably about 11 o'clock in the morning, came back about 12 hours later, using the phone to take lots of photos, to take lots of videos, make a few phone calls here and there. And what I can tell you is that at the end of the day, I still had 40% battery left. This is pretty impressive for me because usually I'm the guy that always has a portable charger close by, especially if I'm going to be out for extended periods of time. Didn't feel that I needed a portable charger yesterday, and I didn't. So, I mean, I always think portable chargers are a good thing depending on, what you're doing over the course of the day, but for a normal 9 to 5 type of situation, you're going to be good with this battery. Again, I can't speak to the battery on the iPhone 7, but on the iPhone 7 Plus, no issues whatsoever with the battery at all. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the camera. So right here, I've got the iPhone 6s Plus, and right here, I've got the iPhone 7 Plus. And one of the big things that you're going to notice is you've got the single lens camera here, and you've got the dual lens camera here. The problem with this is that right off the bat, even though these phones are the same size, all of my cases for the 6S have been rendered obsolete. Now, the really cool thing about this new camera is the zoom on it is absolutely spectacular. I'm going to put up some images in a moment that shows you the difference between the zoom on the 6S Plus and the zoom on the 7 Plus. Now, when you go to most camera stores and you say to them, or you ask them, what's the best smartphone camera? 9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you it's the camera on the iPhone, and historically, the cameras on the iPhone have always been fantastic. Well, they have taken something, Apple has taken something that was already fantastic and made it even better. Because let's say you're at a concert, you no longer have to be in the first row. You can be multiple rows back because the 10 times zoom is absolutely amazing. You are getting such good pictures with this new device. And not to mention that we live in a world of selfies and Snapchat and Instagrams, and a lot of people are taking selfies. Well, the front-facing 7 megapixel camera is no joke either. So Apple has really responded to the needs of its users and made a very good camera even better. Now, one of the questions that I'm getting is, Keith, should I upgrade? Should I go out and get the new iPhone 7? So here's my thing. Different strokes for different folks. Now, if you're getting a phone for one of your children and that child happens to be under the age of 15, quite frankly, I would recommend going out and getting the iPhone SE. Don't look at the iPhone SE as a bad piece of machinery, because it's not. It is the size of the old iPhone 5 and 5S. It's a 4-inch screen, but under the hood, it has the capabilities of the iPhone 6S. It's got the strong camera, it's got a lot of the different features, and at a fraction of the cost. I am a big fan of the iPhone SE, especially for that market. But for yourself, if you're over the age of 15 and you're working and you can afford to go out and get your own phone, and you're thinking, should you get the iPhone 7? Well, again, speaking to the 7 Plus, I think it is a fantastic phone. It is the best iPhone that Apple has ever made. Like I said, I love the battery. I absolutely love the camera, but I shoot a lot of pictures, I shoot a lot of video, I film all of my blogs with my phone, and I want to make sure I've got the best bang for my buck. And let's face it, I'm an early adopter, so it makes sense for me. But the iPhone 6S and the 6S Plus are also fantastic phones in their own right. Keep in mind, the software that operates all these devices is the same. They all operate on OS X. So, and OS X is the new software that just came out last week, and there are a lot of new features that go with OS X that you can use across all of the different phones. So I definitely advocate the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. I think they're great phones, the best iPhones that Apple has ever made. And again, if you're getting an iPhone, regardless if it's the SE, the 6S, or the 7 Plus, I strongly recommend, especially if you're new to the iPhones, or even if you've got some experience with them, go to Apple and do a workshop. They're free. It gives you the opportunity of learning all the cool tricks that you can do with your iPhone. And I honestly don't think people utilize these devices to their full capabilities. Regardless of what phone you get, a couple of things. I strongly recommend a case. OtterBox is really the best case to get with it, because, you know, if the phone drops, and it's going to, you don't have to like lose sleep and lose your hair over it. I always put OtterBoxes on my devices, and I've never had a break. The other thing is Apple Care. I know it's an additional cost, but you're paying for peace of mind, because if there's any physical or liquid damage, then you can rest assured at the fact that Apple will look after it. And always turn the Find My iPhone feature on. That way, you know, sometimes if you misplace your phone, you can log on to another device or onto a computer and easily track down where your phone is. I hope you found this review helpful. If you have other questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. One other thing, if you're looking at doing an upgrade, always check to see what your device balance is before you go ahead and do the upgrade, and check to see with your provider what the return policy is, because maybe you take that particular phone home and you might not like it and you might want to replace it for another phone. So look into that as well. But I would, if you can, go demo the phone, try it out, feel it, see if you like it. But these iPhone 7 Pluses are fantastic. I strongly stand by them, and I was impressed with last year's model. I am so in love with this year's model. So let me know what you think. I also got the new Apple Watch. Let me know if you're interested in hearing about the new Apple Watch, and if so, I can do a review on that as well. How do you get a hold of me if you have questions? Because if you have questions, I will get you the answer. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. My name is Keith, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.